Hello YouTube, this is RV Tips for people with physical limitations. As you can see, it's a dark and snowy night here at the Winnebago. Try to get some view behind me so you can see the snow coming down. As you can see, it looks warm and nice and cozy in the Winnebago, and it is. And it's all because of propane. So let's talk about it. Okay everybody, we made it through the dark and stormy night here to the light and stormy day. And I've been snug as a bug in a rug in the Winnebago here because of our friend Propane. Before we go ahead and talk about it, I want to say a couple of things. I am not a certified RV technician, and I am also not a certified propane system technician. I am a do-it-yourselfer with a camper that loves to learn, and I've learned some stuff I'd like to share. But I just wanted you to know that. And the next thing is safety when you're dealing with any propane stuff on your camper. Okay everybody, the very first thing you want to do before we get started is turn off the propane to your camper. This is actually the propane to my barbecue grill, but all propane tanks these days use this DOT valve, this triangle shaped thing. If you don't have one of these, you need to go to your propane accessories place and get one put in. They'll put one in real quick for you, and it's the law that you have it. But anyway, you want to shut this all the way to closed so that there's no more propane that can come into your system. Also, you want to make sure that this is closed anytime you move your camper or anytime you're fueling your motorhome or your tow vehicle. This needs to be closed. Pretty much it should be closed anytime that you're not actually camping somewhere. And also the electrical system in your camper needs to be shut down so there can be no sparks. Okay, the next thing you want to do is shut off all the pilot lights inside your camper. As you can see behind me, the hot water heater is right there, and next to it is the fridge, which is right there, and they have pilot lights that need to be shut off. And you might also have one in your stove, your oven, your furnace, and any other propane appliances that you have. Make sure that they're shut off. And I actually also, once everything is shut down, I'll light up the burner on my stove and let it burn until it goes out, and that means that there's very, very, very little propane in the system before I'll even do anything. And in fact, you should turn off all that stuff before you even put gasoline or diesel in your RV as well. It's the law. So safety first before we do any of this stuff. Okay, here we are at the back of my Winnebago at my propane compartment. I went ahead and showed you guys the valve on the barbecue because I couldn't get the camera in this compartment to take a look at them. And like I said, they're all that standard DOT valve, so that they match right up. Anyway, I wanted to make this video because I'm having serious problems with my propane system because of my own physical limitations. As we know, the bad thing about propane is when you run out of propane, that can be really bad. And if you're out traveling, you just pull off in the next town and get your tanks filled up, or your tank if you have a horizontal, and get back out on the road and it's no problem. However, if you're somebody who doesn't want to move your camper every week or whenever to go get propane, maybe you're at a fishing camp or you have relatives in your camper during the holidays, it can be really inconvenient to go move your camper just to go fill up your propane. Okay, so if you run out of propane before you want to move your camper, depending on the type of system you have a couple of different options. If you have a horizontal tank up underneath your camper, we're going to go ahead and talk about you in just a little bit. I have a vertical mount tank, so I'm going to talk about my system because that's the thing giving me trouble right now because of my physical problems. Okay, so I do have a vertical tank system, like I said, in my Winnebago, and you might be thinking, well Jason, that's the easy one for going and getting propane. All you have to do is unhook the tank, take it to town and get it filled, and bring it back and put it in. And you're right, except for my own physical limitation has some weight restrictions. And even though they call this a 40-pound tank, 40 pounds is actually just what the tank weighs. With the propane in it, it's 70 pounds, which is well beyond what my surgeon wants me to carry after my elbow surgery. So I can't even move this once it's full, much less bring it home and stick it in the RV. So I kind of came up with another solution. I ran it by Winnebago and the local camper guy, and this is what I decided to do. Okay, so here we have just your regular cylinder that you'd probably use on your barbecue grill. However, like I said before, it has the same valve as the one in my RV, in your RV. And it's the same diameter around as well. So a person can just take one of these cylinders and buckle it right into the camper, whether you have a travel trailer or a older RV like mine. And that way you go instantly from 70 pounds in the big tanks to 35 pounds, which is much easier to grapple with. And it's actually within the weight limit that I'm allowed to carry right now. So I can fill up my propane system without having to move my camper and lose an afternoon and 20 bucks in gas. However, a while back I had my arm in a sling after my surgery and I couldn't use it at all. So even one of these was a little bit beyond my capabilities. I couldn't handle 35 pounds. So when I could no longer handle a propane cylinder like this, I thought I was in big trouble. But I was down at the hardware store and I found this thing, and it's called a steak saver. And it's made so that if you're cooking with your barbecue grill with one of these tanks, if you run out of propane, it makes it so that you can take one of these little camping tanks and screw it on here. I'm not going to screw it on or else it'll blow gas out the top. But you screw it on here, and then just for demonstration purposes, your camper will have a little thing that looks like this, and you just screw that right in there. And I got to thinking, I wonder if that would work on a camper. So I brought it home and I tried it, and it does work. Here, let me show you. Hello YouTube, here we are in the Winnebago's kitchen. As you can see, the happy little blue flame underneath the pot of boiling water. I wanted to show you that you can run your kitchen with the little 1-pound cylinder that we hooked into the RV system earlier today. Not only is that burner working real good, but I actually also have the back burners on. Now, I just wanted to show you that, to show you that you can run your propane systems off the little canisters. Now that I've showed you some of the things that I use to keep my camper fueled with propane when I have a vertical tank system, I did say that I was going to talk about horizontal tanks for a minute. So I wanted to share this with you. Most horizontal tank systems that I've seen actually have a pigtail like this underneath in the little hatch that you open to get to the tank. And since it has this little universal pigtail, it will fit into the barbecue grill tank and also the little 1-pound cylinder camping tank. And so even if it's not quite long enough, you can actually get an extension for these pretty easy down at the hardware store. And just to let everybody know, of course this tank is going to last a lot less time than that tank, and this little tank is going to last 1/15 what this tank lasts. However, if you have to go out and switch it once or twice a day, if that means the difference between you not being able to use the camper and being able to go out and live the lifestyle that you want, it's well worth it. And like I said, you know, this will completely fuel your camper. If you're going to use your furnace and other stuff, it'll go through that really quickly. However, if you're just going to use your stove to cook some coffee on and maybe use your fridge with a little flame in there, they should last a couple of days. And, you know, so those are some of the tips that I have about propane, and it's what I've done to make sure that I can go ahead and enjoy the lifestyle that I want. Alright YouTube, thanks for watching.